Hey, hello everyone. I'm Fred Oakman here with Mr. Jake Peters. You listen to PS This Is Awesome, a PlayStation podcast. This is episode 406, where we dive into our thoughts on all things PlayStation. This will be the last episode of the year. But before we jump in, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/PS This Is Awesome, where you can also watch the video version of the podcast. You can check out our trophy list on the PlayStation Network. I am Anchorless _81, and Jake is Jakesaw01. Send your thoughts to psthisisawesome@gmail.com and share the show with friends. Don't forget to rate us. This podcast airs for free every Wednesday on your preferred streaming platform. But for those who sign up to our Patreon for just $1 a month, you can join the one and only $1 club and receive a die-cut vinyl sticker plus a shout-out. Most times you also get the show a day or two early. Visit patreon.com/PS This Is Awesome to show us your support. Remember, if you like our podcast, it does us a lot of good if you can like, comment, and subscribe to everything on YouTube. With that all out of the way, Jake, how are you doing? I know it is... we're recording this a little bit after Christmas. We're in between Christmas and the New Year, and we did not put an episode out last week because of the holiday. But how are you right now?
Doing all right.
Yeah.
I've been dealing with a lot of stress recently, so that's been kind of problematic for me. But other than that, I was kind of hoping when the holiday break rolled around that I'd get a little bit of rest, you know. But basically, as soon as break started, there was the big rush to get stuff ready for Christmas. And then we drove on Christmas Eve. We drove to Philadelphia, and we're there Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and then a freak ice storm came through on Friday, which was the day after Christmas. And I don't know how much you are aware of this ice storm that came through, but when I checked the weather on Monday, I think it was oh yeah, it's gonna be 50s and raining on Friday. And then I checked the weather as we're going down on Wednesday, I see every single, they have those signs on the highway that are the billboards that they can update with traffic alerts or whatever.
Amber alerts or whatever.
Every single one of them was travel restrictions on Friday. And I'm like, what the fuck? So we get down there and I'm talking to my father-in-law and he's like, oh, you should really, think about the weather, blah, 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 blah. And as I'm watching it, it's this ice storm. It's coming through, and they're expecting up to a half an inch of ice in central PA, which is fucking crazy. I mean, that's a lot of ice.
Yeah.
And the whole day, during Christmas Day, I'm watching the weather, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. And I'm watching when it's supposed to hit and all this stuff. And so we get back to the hotel Christmas evening, and I was just you know what, Sarah, we're just gonna leave early. We're just gonna leave real early and get home, try to beat the ice storm. I don't want to be on 80 and all this stuff with all these trucks and shit whenever the ice is going down. So, but I was so stressed out about it that I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep at all on the night of Christmas.
That sucks.
So I just we straight up just got up at 3:00 in the morning and left. And I woke up at 3 and I woke Sarah up. I was like, look, I'm just going to get a shower and then we're going to go. And so we got everything packed up. We left Philadelphia at 3:45 in the morning. I think we got home a little before 10 a.m., which was awesome because we had no issues with the weather the whole way back. The roads were perfect. I mean, other than, and obviously there's no cars on the road because it's fucking 4:00 in the morning.
Right.
But the drive was great, so we got home at 10. They have that PA 511 website.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I use it all the time.
About? So we got home at 10. By 11 o'clock, there were 5 multi-car accidents on 80 because of the ice. And I was like, holy shit, we really dodged a bullet there. But it's like one of these things where I got no sleep the night before. We got up super early. I drove all the way back. You're all fucked up because like the day is now like your circadian rhythm's all fucked up because you got up so early. So we get back, literally went to bed for like 4 or 5 hours, then got up, and so like I'm all screwed up because of that. And then Saturday we had the family Christmas on my side for like my family. So then I was doing that, and so like yesterday, which was Sunday, was like the first day where I didn't have like an obligation, and I was supposed to have a hockey game in the evening, but it ended up getting canceled. So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to do fucking nothing. So I literally just sat on the couch and played Silent Hill most of the day, and just kind of relaxed, took a nap, like just chilled out. And today we had to like go do some family stuff this morning, and so I'm just like, I'm fucking exhausted, but like I can't sleep. Like last night I couldn't sleep at all, even though I'm like exhausted.
Yeah.
And so I'm just hoping over the next, before I'm going to try and not go back to work until next Monday. And if that's the case, then I'm going to try, hopefully I can get like a few days stretch there where I can just kind of chill and like have my nerves just be like good again before I have to go back to work. But I mean, all in all, like Christmas was fun down with Sarah's family. I had a good time with my family on Saturday. It's just it's the running, it's the all the stuff. But
yeah, I get it.
My homemade gifts went over well,
good.
So that was exciting. But yeah, I don't know. It's been crazy. How about you? How'd your Christmas go?
Oh, it was good. I unfortunately don't have a lot of time off. In fact, a lot of people at my work are working today. My boss had a couple days off, and she gave them back so that I could get a break. So I had Friday off, which is the day after Christmas, and then I also have today off, which is Monday. Recording this on Monday, which is the next work day. So, but I go back tomorrow, so I really only had Christmas off Friday and today, and it's not long enough. It's just not long enough. I would love to have like a full fucking week. It would be great. I'm worn out. Go ahead, yeah.
We get we're fortunate enough that we get, as paid holidays, we get New Year's Eve and New Year's, and then we get Christmas plus one day. We can either pick the day after Christmas or Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And so with my vacation that I had saved up, I mean, I had a few days saved up. It was enough to basically let me take off like all last week. And
That's
then
nice.
up through New Year's this week. And I might just sacrifice a 2026 vacation day for Friday and just wait until Monday to come back. But just because it's like, you fucking go back to work for one day and then there's a weekend and then you go back. So it's like, I don't know. I get it. I'm sorry to hear you don't have more time off. I mean, that kind of stinks, but at least you got to,
I have time available. Our time rolls, so I'm just saving. It's partly my fault too, but Christmas was good. Did the whole gift thing. It was nice. I'm just kind of worn out still from it all.
Sure.
So that's all. The gifts landed well. Like you said about yours, everybody was happy with their gifts. The only downfall is when we had the gathering at my parents', and it's always the next day, and my sister sent a group chat, and she had COVID, so she didn't know that she had it. She was feeling kind of drawn down. So I don't know. My brother is sick right now. So I think he got it, but I'm waiting to have.
Did he get tested?
I don't know if he got. I don't think he tested for it, but he said he's sick. So I don't know, man. We will see. If I come down with the ick or not. Hopefully I don't. That's the trouble these days is like so much sickness. There's a new strain of flu. I mean, I'm tired. I'm really tired, and I've been tired all weekend, but I think it's just from the hustle bustle. But outside of that, it was nice. I got what did I get? Well, I got some cool stuff. My brother got me a nice neoprene mat for my work desk. It has some Hero Quest stuff on it. Just logos, like a big artwork. Les, whatever his name is, can't remember his last name right now. Artwork from him. Gary Chalk, maybe. It might be Gary Chalk artwork. So that was nice. Just got the regular stuff, socks, nice blanket, that kind of stuff. And then I got a dash cam for my car, which I'm pretty excited about.
Nice.
Yeah. So the only thing with those is like you have to worry about like I don't want to. I don't want to have to like have wires hanging. You know what I mean? So they show you
can
ways.
have someone install it.
Yeah, you can have people install it and just wire it to the fuse box. That's usually how they get powered, unless you want to run it out of like a cigarette adapter or a USB adapter in your car. I'd rather just have it.
Run it to your battery.
Yeah. I'd rather just have it done. I did some research on how to do it, and it'll be nice. It's a front cam and a back cam. I don't know if I'll install the rear camera just because I'm always in and out of the rear with my gear and stuff. It might be kind of tricky to mount somewhere.
Yeah.
But anyways, it'll be cool. It's amazing to me that new cars like mine that has like radar and cameras everywhere, they don't have like a baked in feature to like.
Oh, dude, funny story. You bring up the dash cam thing. My father-in-law has a Tesla.
Yeah.
And he showed me. So the Teslas do have like the cameras, and it does have like a rolling recording, so that it's got like the built-in dash cam like you're talking about. And he showed me a video that he saved from it, where he was driving towards this. I guess this was a couple months ago, but he was driving towards Conneautville. You know where that's at? It's like out in the sticks, and there's like this bend right before you get into Conneautville, and he was driving, and as he was driving, you see on the dash cam this motorcycle comes around him, and the guy's like wobbling on the motorcycle as he's going around him, and my father-in-law is like, this dude's not like, something's gonna happen with this guy, and sure as shit, he fucking eats it in this corner right in front of my father-in-law on his dash cam, and it's just like, the dude just goes right off the road, and he jumped right up and was like, okay, but like he just like couldn't make the turn, and he just went into the grass and ate shit. And I was like, and he said he stopped and the guy was okay or whatever. He was just worried about getting to work. He's like, could someone get me to the office, or could someone get me to work? And I'm like, bro, you just fucking wrecked your motorcycle. And but anyway, it seemed like it was a pretty sketchy situation. Like he didn't have a license plate on his bike or something like that. Gosh. Like maybe it wasn't really road safe, and like so. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to hijack your story. It made me think of that.
Yeah, no, it's always a wise investment, I guess. Especially with all the deer strikes we have up here, and then like. Dude, for as much driving as I do between the 3 counties that I work in and like all the gigs and stuff, it's probably not a bad idea to have something like that. You just never know what's going to happen. So for insurance purposes and stuff.
Yeah, especially if you got to use your personal vehicle for work. I can totally understand that.
Yeah. So anyways, we're not here to talk about dash cams and Christmas gifts and all that stuff. What we are here to talk about are video games. And the title of this episode, because this is the last one of 2025, is our most anticipated games of 2026. We're going to do a little bit of forward talking, and Jake and I have been playing some games. We'll get into that first, some listener comments, and we have a couple little things to read there, and we're going to get into some games coming out in 2026, what we're looking forward to, what we hope to see. These last couple weeks of the year are very, very dry when it comes to news. A lot of news sites, a lot of things just are not being discussed in the gaming world. This is a time to reset, relax, catch your breath, and then get back to it in 2026. So with that, I will say I apologize that we did not release an episode last week. For those who were on Patreon or those who follow us on YouTube, you would have seen a quick little 40-second video I put out thanking everybody and wishing everybody a Merry Christmas, and that Jake and I weren't going to be doing this episode last week. So another reason to tune into us on those outlets. And with that out of the way, man, let's get into listener feedback. So Prescripten writes in, Merry Christmas to you both. Thank you, Prescripten. We appreciate your patronage over on Patreon, and the same to Ryan Betson, our friend from Down Under. And he says, Merry Christmas, gents. So that was really the only listener feedback we had, but I wanted to acknowledge those guys. They're patrons of the show. We do appreciate your support, and thanks for chiming in over there and wishing us a happy holiday. We hope everybody had a nice holiday as well. With that aside, we're going to talk about games we're playing. As of our prior episode 405, Jake and I were both playing Silent Hill 2, the remake. And dude, I know you and I have kept in touch a little bit about this, and you were gone for the holiday, so you didn't really have much gaming time in. I had minimal gaming time in, but I kind of launched. I'm like, you know what? This is. I'm not going to allow this game to be one of those games that I don't finish. So I will admit unashamedly that I used game help a lot in this game to figure out where to go, what I needed to do. Because it just starts becoming kind of ambiguous. And Jake, we've kind of had some side conversations about Silent Hill 2 remake, just about your visibility is limited so much in this game that it becomes obnoxious. And you're constantly looking at the map, you get rerouted, you're trying to figure out where the hell you are, where you need to go. I will say the one thing about this game, dude, is like I do appreciate the markings on the map as you explore areas so that you at least have an idea of where the objectives are. But holy shit. I beat this game just late last night. I finished it. So I'm guessing you have not beaten it yet, Jake, because I thought...
No,
did you?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I just know that when we had talked, you and I were actually in the exact same part of the game. And when I picked this game up, I had no idea and actually no intention on putting this many hours into a game. I thought it was going to be like a 12-hour banger, an 11-hour banger or something, because Silent Hill 2 is an older game. But no, man, I think I've clocked about 16 hours in Silent Hill 2, and I'm happy to be done with it. And that's not saying that I dislike the game at all. My quick take on it, without spoiling anything, I just think the combat is really clunky. I don't think the controls feel very slick. And it's long as hell in the tooth. This game just drags on. And it's just like, okay, I get it. You guys are putting puzzles together. And a lot of the puzzles, as far as I can understand, really had very little to do with the story. They were just like, oh, here's a cool area. You know, here's another cool area. We're going to come up with this thing. So you have to go through this to get to the next story beat. Some of it did correlate one-to-one with the story, but most of it I don't feel like it really did at all. But by the end of the game, you're this isn't a spoiler, but you're left with multiple endings depending on what you choose and how you decide to beat it. And that kills me because I'm just like, man, can't you just tell me a canon ending? Like, I'm not going to go back and redo these really tense moments just to see different endings. So I looked up online what the most accepted ending is, and I just drove my character to that ending and got that ending. And I thought it was good. The game's great. I mean, short of my gripes about the combat being clunky and the fucking... the story just being so long. And I thought it was weird that one of the bosses at the end of the game was who it was. And I was like, this is just a really weird boss battle. It felt like something that should have been in like an Uncharted game or something. It felt very much like the final boss in Uncharted 1. But it was difficult. It was a difficult game. I played it on normal, but I did put the puzzles on light when I did my playthrough. But all in all, man, I think the takeaway thing from this, as far as the good things, is just, man, the game was really fucking creepy at times. Still, it holds up. Like the atmosphere, the tension, all of that is driven by just a phenomenal sound engineering job. Like, just I had the 5 point whatever stereo sound on, and I was playing late at night, and I would hear fucking noises behind me as I'm sitting on the couch. I'm like, fuck, that's creepy, man. It's just creepy, and I just wanted to get out of those areas. Like, I would want to fucking, it was almost reminiscent of my first time playing Outlast, where I was just like, I just feel this fucking darkness, and I just want out of it. Like, I got, the only way out is through in Silent Hill 2, and I just had to get out of it, dude. It was just like, I don't know. Some of the stuff they did was really cool. Some of the real long corridors that you find yourself walking in. There's a scene, without spoiling, where you're in a boat and you're rowing, and it's just like, gosh. Like, part of it is obnoxious, but then part of it's also like, it kind of did, I think, what it was supposed to do. And walking down the street, and it's just, you're walking. The fog's everywhere. It was a good game, man. I never played the original, so to just only ever play this remake was really kind of fun. From what I understand, Silent Hill 1 and Silent Hill 3 are tied together, but Silent Hill 2 is not tied to those two games, or if it is, maybe it's the prequel to those two, or I'm not sure the way it works chronologically. But we'll talk about Silent Hill, Jake, and then I'll talk about the other game that I hop back into. But go, I know you've been playing Silent Hill. You want to chime in on any of that?
Yeah, so I beat Silent Hill as well. I did get through it. Because, like I said, I basically did nothing but play it yesterday. So, yeah. And my sentiments are probably relatively similar to yours in that I believe that the, what do I want to say? I think that the game is good. Actually, I think it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
The problems that I have with it are in James as a main character for 95% of the game. So, like, at the end of the game, he starts being like a little bit more of like a, you know, like somebody wrote him as a character in this story. I don't know. It's like, I was joking with Sarah yesterday as I was playing it, where like he never ever, when he's talking to someone in the fucking game until the very end, completes a fucking sentence. He's just like, I don't know, like, what are you like, and then the other person he's talking to will like spew a bunch of shit at him.
He'll be like, aren't you scared?
Yeah, and it's like, dude, fucking talk. You sound like, you know, I don't know, man. But like, it was just, that annoyed the shit out of me. And like I mentioned last week or 2 weeks ago, I guess it was, about how he's just so like, and maybe like when you find out what the game is about and stuff, maybe it makes a little bit of sense. I don't know, but he's just so like, just nonchalant about everything that's going on around him.
Yeah.
Until like literally the very end, where he shows some emotion. And it's like, what? Dude, you're in this totally fucked up shit that's going on. Everything that's going on around you is insane. And you just like totally deadpan, like, I'm just trying to find Mary. And it's like,
have you seen Mary?
Bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's, I don't know. So like that I have a problem with. The only other thing that I really like, there's only two other things that I really have a problem with. One is that the game is way too fucking dark for way too long. I think that there are, and we were texting about this a little bit, where I think that like having moments in games like this that are incredibly dark and using those moments strategically is really awesome and can really add to like the tension of the game. But kind of what you kind of alluded to earlier, there's a section in this game for like, I'm not even fucking around, like 4 or 5 straight hours where it is pitch black. And all you have is just a flashlight that shoots like 5 feet in front of you. And the whole time you're like trying to find things and unlock doors and
solve
do all this
puzzles.
Stuff. And it's like, and I get it. Like they're trying to hide this is only maybe a minor spoiler, but there's like these creepy crawly things that like crawl on the walls and stuff in this particular area of the game. And it's like, okay, they're trying to like hide those things from you. And it's like, okay, I get it, I guess. But like, it's just, it goes beyond being tension building and just becomes really annoying and frustrating.
Yeah.
And so I will say that, so like for that reason, I'll just say it. I'm sorry if this spoils it for someone, but the prison area and the labyrinth area are fucking the worst parts of the game for me. Just because I thought the labyrinth area was actually kind of cool because of it's really like out there as far as the areas that you're going in and the shit that you're doing. It's very psychedelic, and I think that's like a really cool kind of thematic thing. But like, I think the prison area specifically, like I typically think that type of thing in video games is like a really cool, like imagine going through like an abandoned Alcatraz or some shit like that. Like it's kind of a cool concept and it's a really cool environment, but just the fact that there are these big areas that you have to navigate and it's just cell after cell after cell after cell and it's pitch black and you can't fucking see anything to figure, like if you didn't have a fucking map in this game, holy shit would it be just unplayable. And even like the room, like the yard with like the weight puzzle in it. It's like, why is this room pitch black?
Yeah.
Like, why is this room pitch black? It's this big fucking room, and right in the middle of it, there's this puzzle that you have to keep going back to. But you have to like walk through a pitch black area and find it in this entire giant room. It's like, bro, just give me some fucking lights. And they do, though, and what's almost insulting is that for no reason at all, they have these lights that you can turn on that are only active for like 5 seconds, and then they turn off.
Yeah, that's like, weird.
And then when you do turn them on, they're not bright enough to even see anything. It's like, so I had a lot of frustration with that. And my other frustration was with, I felt like the melee combat specifically was really clunky. And I had sometimes just trouble hitting the bad guys that I was trying to hit. Mm-hmm. And like doing like the dodging, and because dodging and attacking with melee is really important in this game because ammo is scarce. Yeah. So you really need to try and use your melee weapon when you can. But generally once you get the flow of things, it's not that bad. But when you're in the dark and like multiple things are attacking you and you can't see them, like it's basically just like you get into a situation where you just fucking die and start over because like you can't, you're just turning around in circles and you don't know where you're at and you're just swinging in the air. And like, so all that said, that's my least favorite part of it. Everything else about it, those are my only two like big gripes about it. Other than that, I really enjoyed the game. Like I liked all the NPCs you can come across. I thought it was very interesting. Mm-hmm. I liked how you kind of like explore their stories a little bit, like as you're going through it. And to be fair, I think when you pop out of that labyrinth area and you take the boat, which the boat thing is fucking stupid. Just make that a cutscene and get me to the fucking island. I don't know why you're making me row this boat for 20 minutes. But once you get there, that hotel section at the end of the game was actually one of my favorite parts of the game because it's much more like traditional survival horror. Like it's not, there are dark components to it.
Yeah, it was lighter.
A lot more light. It's a lot more about like backtracking and solving these puzzles and finding these items and finding codes and unlocking doors. And there's even this section where you give up all your gear and then you have to like navigate it without any way to defend yourself. And like that area I thought was one of the best in terms of like a traditional survival horror kind of experience. And I really enjoyed that part. Like you said, I was a little kind of like what's this about with the final boss of the game. But like all in all, I thought it was fine. And like the whole thing with like the you know the whatever, I don't want to spoil it, but like I thought that the game was pretty cool, and like I was a little bit, I mean, I think Sarah already kind of figured it out, but I was a little bit surprised at like what the whole story was like when you get the videotape and all that and you figure out what happened and everything. I thought it was something completely different based on the interaction with like the Maria character earlier and all that stuff. I thought it was going to be something completely different, and it turns out to be something that I wasn't expecting. So that was really cool, because I didn't play the original either. And from what I understand, the original campaign is like 6 hours long. So they really blew the shit out of this. Yeah. So like I think that like that remember the apartment section where it's like 3 hours long to get through the apartments because there's all this shit you got to do, and then you like go to like the other place and all this stuff. And apparently in like the original game, that section is like 30 minutes long. So like they really made the game a lot longer. And I agree with you that like there are some areas where they could have like tightened it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's just so I did enjoy it. But yeah, like there's just some parts of the game where I'm just like, why is James not commenting on anything that is happening around him?
Yeah,
like
right.
is this a component to the story where it's just like, oh, he's not commenting on this stuff because it's like a bizarro place, and he's just like, it doesn't occur to him that this shit is crazy or something. Like I don't know. Like they don't, to me, like I almost need to look up a deep dive on it or something and see if anybody's ever like figured that out, but it's very strange to me. But yeah, so that's all I have to say, I guess, about Silent Hill. I didn't know until I beat the game that there was more than one ending. I just like beat the game and I was like, okay, well, I guess there's 8 endings and I only got one of them.
Yeah.
So I figured I haven't done it yet, but I figured I would just Google what the other endings are just because I'm curious. I'm not gung ho enough to like New Game Plus this and go back through it or anything. I imagine it would make the beginning of the game a lot easier to New Game Plus, because the beginning of the game is actually pretty difficult when you just have like the melee weapon or whatever. But
man, I don't know.
I got a couple other things that I'll comment on, other games I want to talk about, but I don't know if you want to talk about your other game real quick.
Yeah, I will real quick. So I was sitting on the couch this morning. I woke up kind of early, got some laundry started, just did some shit, and I was like, man, I want to play something, but I don't want to play something that I'm going to feel absolutely glued to, like I need to beat it. So there were 2 other things actually, and I'll write the other one on here so you can see it coming down the pike here. But like the first thing I was like, man, because it's been installed on my PlayStation indefinitely, and I still have no intent on uninstalling it. But I was like, you know what? I really enjoyed Cyberpunk 2077. That world is just so good. And I know the game is essentially finished at this point. And put it on performance mode, or turn it off ray tracing is how you have to do it on this game. And I jumped in and I started a Corpo character. And man, it is absolutely almost undeniable how amazing Cyberpunk 2077 is at this point. It's like, it is the game we were promised years ago, and now it is what it is. And the game is just, golly, it's so good. The game is unbelievable. It's just that intro sequence, no matter if you take Nomad, Street Kid, or Corpo, the way they get you into that world and just the story beats that hit, like jumping into a game after a ton of patches is obnoxious, like an old save, because your phone just rings nonstop and it's like, I don't know what to do. But if you go in clean and you start a brand new game, Holy mackerel. It's so good. The game's been out for forever, but just a rundown on the Corpo thing is you start up, it starts off and you're like in like Arasaka headquarters and you've got like this suit on and you're in the bathroom or you go in or something. I don't know. You go in and your boss wants to talk with you. And you don't really have any bearings on what's going on yet in the game. And he's just like, hey, here's the deal. You work for counterintelligence for Arasaka headquarters as a corpo, like when you start the game. And he's like, listen, we got to get ahead of this. You have to go and take care of this person. And it was someone else who I believe is working on the inside. And your character is talking to your boss, and you're just like, man, what if I don't want to do this? And he's like, you're smarter than this. This isn't how this works. You do what we tell you to do. And you're like, well, fuck, all right. I guess I'm going to... Then he gives you this data chip, and it gives you, like, her location and all this shit, and you're supposed to put a hit on this person or make her disappear. And then you go into the restroom, and then your buddy Jamie calls, and he's, like, the only buddy you can trust on the outside. And he's like, well, let's meet at Lizzie's, the bar, real quick. And we'll have a drink, catch up, and you can fill me in on whatever the hell it is bothering you. So your boss is like, hey, you can use my ride. And his ride is one of those things that hover in the air that go, like all the rich people have because you're a corpo. So like you get in this thing. And, like, you guys, like, take me to Lizzie's or whatever, you know, and there's wine there. And the thing goes, and you can look out the window. And it's all real time. And it's like you're in Night City. And it's just, like, all the glow, all the billboards. And you feel like a baller. And then it's like the thing says, oh, we can't find a good place to land within the parameters. And then your guy's just like, I don't give a shit. Park it as close as you can. And it's like, all right, resetting parameters. And it parks it on the roof of Lizzie's. And you get out and there's these guys that are playing basketball. And they're like, hey, man, what the fuck? And they come over and like you have a choice real quick to like attack them. And I said attack, and you punch the one guy in the throat and he goes down. And the other guy, like you break his arm. And then the third guy's just like, what the fuck, man? And you just walk. And there's like a woman like on the roof guarding the door. And you're like, hey, make sure no one fucking scratches that. It's my boss's. And she goes, I don't get paid for that. And then you just go, like I said, make sure no one fucking touches it. And then you walk. She goes, okay, whatever. And you walk in, and your buddy Jamie's like waiting for you, and you guys have some fucking drinks. I'm like, this game's so fucking good. It's so good. It just puts you right in that world. And this is just the intro. And then the rest of the game beats are all the same after you get pulled in. But essentially what happens is that there are some other Arasaka guys that show up while you're eating with Jamie. And they come in and they're like, hey, man, we know you have a data chip. You have to hand it over. And your guy's like, you have the option to tell him, like, fuck off or no or whatever. And you're like, how do you even know that I have this? And they're like, that's not the question. Hand it over now. And then they drain your bank account. They essentially fire you from Arasaka. And they're getting paid off by the person that you were going to go take out. And they're going to try to take you out the door. And Jamie steps up and he goes, hey, listen, man. He goes, if you guys want to do this, you know, guns might start going off, and I can't promise that everybody here is going to walk out alive. And they're like, whatever, man, fuck you. And they leave you with Jamie. And Jamie's like, dude, this is a blessing. You get to restart. You're no longer a corpo, like, asshole. Like, we can go run some deals and go work together. And then it has, like, the smash thing of you doing different jobs with them, like, over a period of, like, 6 months. And then it throws you into the game. And it's like, dude, this is so fucking good. Everything about this game is fantastic. And I will say... Phantom Liberty, which was the DLC that Idris Elba was in. Oh, dude, if you've never played that, it is top tier video game experience. Like, it's unreal. They knocked it out. So that's super. What I jumped into that this morning, I was like, I have to mention on the show again, if you have not played Cyberpunk 2077, it is a 100% must. It is exactly the way that I felt about The Witcher 3 when I finished that game. It's just like the CD Projekt Red, they have the special sauce. They've screwed up every release that they've probably ever had with games. But at the end of the day, years and years later, they don't let these games die. They just turn into these beautiful things. That game is, oh man, I suggest anyone to jump in and just start a fresh play of this game. Get the DLC installed, just play this thing front to back. You'll thank me afterwards. The other thing is I bought Arizona Sunshine, the remake for VR, probably about 4 or 5 months ago. And I was like, you know what? It's a downtime kind of day. I'm going to throw the headset on and fuck with this. And yeah, dude, it's cool, man. I don't like some of the... I know there's an Arizona Sunshine 2, but I don't like some of the... This game also, let me go back, should be probably played multiplayer with buddies in VR. I'm playing it single player. It's very campy. The humor's kind of there. Your character has his own voice, and he makes comments about stuff he sees and different kills and stuff. And it kind of reminds me of kind of like a Duke Nukem, like a slapstick kind of comedy vibe. He calls all the zombies Fred. He's like, oh, it looks like Fred's brought some company, or oh, who do we have to our left? It's another Fred, and you're just like blasting them. It's the gunplay feels good, but it is clunky because this is one of those games where like they almost wanted everything to be interactive. So like you can pick up cans and throw them, bottles, calculators, all the things. And it wasn't exactly clear with how you store some of the weapons. Like you have one spot on your back and you have 2 holsters, but if you move your arm like this, you can look inside your hand and you can put like grenades in there for inventory in each of your hands. That's how you access your inventory. It's kind of weird. The reload mechanic is kind of, in a game like this, it has to be awesome. And I am playing more realistic so that you have to rack the gun. You have to eject the clip, put the clip in, rack the gun, do the thing. And I bet if I take that off, I'm kind of stuck on a part where I have minimal health. I'm getting swarmed by zombies, and I just can't do it on my own. Like there's just too many guys. So I might try to take the difficulty down. I think I'm probably about 35% of the way through the game already. And the way it's laid out, it's like mini sandboxes with minimal puzzles. And it's just like, it's like, okay, you got a couple zombies, you kill them, you open some car doors, you look for new weapons, you find a key to open a gate, it sets off an alarm, you get swarmed by a lot of zombies, you hit a checkpoint, and then as you do the next thing, You're just a guy, and you're just trying to find a safe spot. You're trying to find other humans, right? And you're just kind of on your own. You're looking for like a shelter or something. Hopefully finding something where there's other civilization. So it's fun. It is fun. I got it on sale a long time ago for like $5 or something. It's totally worth it. It's cool. It's a fun play. I'll probably see it through. I'm already kind of through it for the most part. I just have to get past this tough part. The funny part is eating is how you restore your health. So like you'll grab like a hamburger and you put it to your mouth and then you pull it away and there's a bite out of it and you just have to keep going like this. But I had this fucking hot dog and I'm going like this and I'm like, God, this feels so weird and disgusting. It's like you're like doing something you shouldn't be doing. But that's how you eat, and there's pizza slices and the cans I don't think you can open. I was trying to drink soda and stuff and I couldn't do it. So I think all of the healing is done through eating, but you don't have a health gauge, so you don't know how hurt you are, and then it starts getting red around the edges, kind of like how Silent Hill does, and it limits your view, which makes it even harder, especially in a 3D game like a VR game. But that's what I've been touching on. But Jake, how about you? You said you're playing some other stuff. What else are you playing?
So while I was I wanted something to put on my Steam Deck while I was in traveling for Christmas, and so I don't know what made me decide to try it, but I know like we've had it maybe on PlayStation Plus and stuff like that, but I've never played Stardew Valley, and everyone talks about how amazing it is. And so it's just like a farming kind of Minecrafty a little bit kind of game, and I was like, fuck it, I'll load it up on my Steam Deck. It was really cheap because of the Steam's holiday sale or whatever, And so I think I actually did have it for PS Plus on Vita, but I just didn't like it's the Vita version's not updated and it's like it doesn't run as I don't know. So I just bought it for my Steam Deck for whatever it was, $7 or something. And I played that the whole time I was gone and for a little while after I got back, and I've been enjoying it. I mean, it's one of the things I don't like about these kinds of games is that there's so much stuff you can do in it, and it's kind of like Minecraft where it's like I get to a point where I just don't know what to do.
Right.
Like for example, like I have this task where I need to build a silo to hold food for my chickens. And it's like I have the chickens, I know how to feed them with like to let them out and let them feed like naturally on grass, and I know how to give them hay and stuff like that. But I need to build them a silo as part of this like little mini quest I'm doing. And I have all of the ingredients to make the silo except for clay. And I have no idea how to fucking find it. And so it's like, okay, well, I guess, I just got to Google this and see where I can find it. And it's like, there's just been a lot of that in this game where it's like, I've got a mission and I need to do a thing. And typically that it's just like, you're going through days of the year and every day you can like plant crops and you've got to water them and you got to put a scarecrow out so the birds don't get them, and then you can harvest the crops and sell them and you get money so you can buy more seeds and all this stuff, and you can get animals, and then there's also this mine that you can go down in and you get like a sword and you can fight bad guys and mine like copper and stuff to make like metal, and you chop down trees and plant grass and do all this stuff. So, and there's even some more like weird, like supernatural stuff you can do in it. But I just wish that there was a little bit more. Now, maybe there is, and I just haven't seen it in the game. But like, what I want is like, I would love that if I like look at a recipe and it's like, and watch, this is in the game, and someone's gonna fucking flame me on it on the comments or something. But like, I want it to be like, I pull up a recipe and it's like, you need 20 wood, 35 copper bars, and 26 clay. I want to be able to like hover over the clay because like I've never gotten clay before. I want to be able to hover over the clay and have it be like clay can be found doing blah 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 blah.
Right.
Just like a little snippet, so then I could be like, okay, well at least I have a starting point where I can go figure it out. Because like right now I'm just like I got like a hoe and I'm just like bashing the ground in certain places to see if I can find clay, and I'm like, this can't be the most effective way to do this. So like
that's frustrating.
But anyway, so I've been really enjoying that, and it's been a cool little game to just kind of like while Sarah's watching something on TV or a hockey game's on or something, just kind of like dicking around, planting things, and I don't know, it's been kind of interesting, and I've been enjoying it.
Good.
But for my console experience, now that I've beat Silent Hill, I bought The Outer Worlds 2 as my next game that I'm gonna play. So I did start it. I got through to the title screen, which is like maybe, I don't know, maybe like an hour and a half into the game. And it's like the kind of the tutorial area where they teach you how to. It's like a mission you're on, but like they sort of teach you how to sneak and do all this stuff.
Right.
And I don't have a lot to say about it so far. I am enjoying what I'm playing, but it's hard to say. It seems like the mission, the story could be kind of like a cool thing. I'm not really that positive about it yet because I don't really know what's going on. But the gunplay seems to be pretty good. I like the gun. One of the guns that I got, like just for the rifle that you get in like the tutorial area is like this like Western style fucking repeating rifle where it's like a lever action where you're just like shooting guys and it looks really cool. So like I have a lot of faith in like the aesthetics of the game and like how it's gonna play out from like that perspective. And I think like if it's anything like the first one, there's gonna be a lot of like science weapons and weird shit like that. And there's a lot because it's a Obsidian game. There's a lot of like You could play the game by doing a lot of dialogue stuff. You could play. It's very much like if they took Fallout, put it in space, and then just hemmed in the scope and polished the shit out of it. So you know how Fallout's like, you can pick up everything you want, and there's all this shit, but like the gunplay's not very good, the graphics aren't that great, there's a lot of bugs. Like this is like, it's got that vibe. There's the role playing aspect, there's the conversation aspect, there's the companion aspect, and everything. There's the skills and all that stuff. But like everything's tighter, it's smaller. You don't pick up nearly as much stuff. Like everything you pick up is kind of focused, and everything that doesn't matter just immediately gets thrown into like a junk folder, and everything else is like a crafting thing, and like and everything is, the graphics are much better, and everything is a lot more polished, and the voice acting is really good, and the writing is really good. So I'm pretty excited about it. There's this cool feature in this game, I haven't really had a chance to explore it, where there's like you have like a negative trait, like you have negative traits you can get. I don't know if you've heard about this, but like, so you have positive traits you can get, like, I don't know what's a good one, like lucky. Like the one that I picked is like you're lucky. So you have like better luck, and it just like gives you random opportunities that people without that trait don't get, just because you're a lucky person. So like to give you an example, in part of the tutorial mission, I'm like sneaking through this area, and there's these like guards that I'm trying to get around, and there's like this bank of fuel cells, and there's this control panel that you can go up to, and you can make them like explode to kill the guards. Yeah. But it's like you can hack it if you have like the hacking ability. You can, if you have the science ability, you just like know how to use it. And then the one thing was like, if you're lucky, you can just mash buttons to see if it works. And so like I selected that and just mashed buttons, and it brought up a dialogue prompt that was like, you, by mashing buttons, you just happened to bring up the power level in a way that they didn't notice it, and like it just like blows up and it kills them. So like there's a lot of traits like that you can get that are positive, but then there are these negative traits that you can get where it's like you're dumb, for example. And I don't know I don't know the specifics of what the trait is, but it's like it'll probably be something like, oh, you don't have the ability to do any like intelligent like speech checks in conversations, but you're more effective in like melee combat or something. So where you're more of like you're kind of like you're dumb but you're strong or something. So like there are like these weird little negative traits that you can apply to yourself to get like a bonus, but at the expense of something negative. The thing about the negative traits though is that they're permanent, so you can't remove them once you put them on. So you have to be like, it's like a gambly thing where you're like committed to role playing that kind of character. And I think it's really interesting. And they will give you them optionally throughout the game. Like if the game sees you playing it a certain way, it'll offer certain negative traits to you that'll give you like really good perks, but at the expense of some negative thing against your character. So I'm excited to see kind of how that plays out. But again, I'm not far enough in it to really comment a lot about it. Maybe next week I'll have a lot more to say, but that's kind of the rest of what I've been playing. Okay, cool. I'm glad that you're playing some stuff, man. This is the right time of year to just kind of dive into some shit. But I don't know. We always talk about like hunkering down. What's our winter game gonna be, or what's our Halloween game gonna be? I don't know that I found one, man. I know what I probably should do is just do Ghosts of Yote, because I haven't played that, or Expedition 33 should be a game that I play. But I just coming out of winter, Christmas, I don't really want to spend any money on buying new stuff, and I never play any of the games on PS Plus Extra. And I was trying to find stuff on there. I know RoboCop Rogue City's on there. There's some other stuff I'd like to try. I think Doom Eternal, I haven't even played that yet.
But I don't want to get stuck into a game where I'm going to be like sucked into it. Like Silent Hill 2 got me. It tricked me. I should have looked it up, but man, I was not ready to put 16 hours into a game. Like, I just didn't want to do that. I want to play something, a palate cleanser kind of game, and I don't know what that would be right now. I know Claire you can dump a ton of time into, and I know Yote you can dump a ton of time into. So I'm just trying to find that perfect little game right now. But anyways, enough about me and my wants and what I want to do. How about we talk about the show topic? There really is minimal news. There really is next to no news. But what I did see, actually, hold on. Why don't we talk about the news points first? The first news point is interesting, and let's do the news point, and then we'll get to the show topic. So Sony has announced a shift in how Plus free games are going to be offered starting January 2026. They announced this a while back, but just so you know, we don't know what we're getting. I don't think the January list has been announced, has it?
I don't know if it has either. I mean, it's not till next week that it would come out, so maybe we'll probably find out in the next couple of days.
Yeah. Well, the big change, Jake, is that PlayStation 4 titles are no longer going to be included on the Plus free games. So that's for the essential tier. Most offerings now are going to be focusing on PS5 and cross-gen games. And this kind of adjustment that Sony's made reflects their broad push towards the PS5-centric content in its subscription service. So we should be getting the lineup on December 31st, I believe. We'll get it next week. But I'm kind of curious because every time we turn the clock forward on the year mark, it seems Sony comes out guns blazing with some awesome offerings. So I am kind of curious to see what they unveil for January or what we get, but I haven't heard anything about that. But that was the one news point I just wanted to remind folks about. And then I saw that there is supposed to be, let me see. There was a rumor from CD Projekt Red. Speaking of Cyberpunk, and Jake, I know I don't have this in the news, in the news notes, but there have been a lot of rumors that there very well might be a paid DLC add-on for The Witcher 3 coming in May of 2026. And they are indicating that they feel... Now, this is rumors, but this is a lot of stuff. It's just all rumor mill. But this is going to help you propel the story into The Witcher 4 a little more. So this is coming from leaks and different forecasts from video game analysts. Is they're indicating that this is a very possible thing, and I just wanted to sit and speculate a little bit on this, and if this is the right move to get people interested in The Witcher 3 or The Witcher 4 again. But it's there was a Polish podcast, Borys, who's a commentator on the game industry, especially CD Projekt Red, indicated that very possible in 2026, prior to The Witcher 4, there is Witcher 3 DLC being developed by Fool's Theory. And I don't know who Fool's Theory is. Let me see here. I think that they are also doing a Witcher remake, possibly. So it's not out of the question that they could be putting together some DLC. It could have possibly even been part of their proof of life to CD Projekt Red, that they can do this. So I'm curious to see if this is something that's real, but this would be kind of a nice surprise in May, especially since GTA 5 or 6 got, is it 5? 6 got pushed out. It was supposed to come out May 26th. So that'd be a nice little pleasant thing. While on the topic of The Witcher, man, I know that the Netflix series is just piss poor at this point. People aren't watching it. People hate it. We all know Henry Cavill left, and they have not Liam Hemsworth, but Chris Hemsworth. I think Liam's brother as Geralt.
No, Liam is the one that's in it. Chris is the famous one.
Okay, yeah. So I got him backwards, but that's kind of a crazy thing. But this is on IGN India. They have here a surprise return to the path. Analysts report that The Witcher 3 will receive a major paid DLC in May 2026, developed by Fool's Theory. The $30 expansion is expected to bridge the gap.
Shit. Fred.
Yeah.
Fred, I'm sorry. I didn't fucking realize it. My appointment's at 4, not 5.
Oh, shit. Okay. We can pause and we can get back to it.
Can we pause and start it when I get back?
Yeah, just let me know. I'll edit the video. Go. That's fine.
Okay. I'm sorry, dude.
No, you're good.
I didn't realize
Go.
it.
Go.
Okay,
Don't
thanks.
wreck.
And now we return you to our regular scheduled program in progress.
All right, so Jake looks different out of nowhere. It's hilarious to me. But yeah, so some time has elapsed, and it is now a blizzard outside. It was fine a minute ago, and now it's literally the most dangerous condition to drive in. So I hope your haircut was worth it. But yeah, dude. So I guess we were just talking about The Witcher 3. And this Fool's Theory making some DLC. Now let me pull back up the page I was looking at because time has passed. Witcher 3 DLC, Fool's Theory. This was there was IGN India. Here we go. IGN India posted a surprise return to the path. Analysts report that The Witcher 3 will receive a major paid DLC in May 2026, developed by Fool's Theory. The $30 expansion is expected to bridge the gap and launch the official marketing campaign for The Witcher 4, which is now reportedly slated for late 2027. And that's all there really is. It's interesting to me. But I don't know. I think that this could be a cool move, except paid DLC for a game that's like, wow, how old is The Witcher 3 at this point? It's got to be nearing
10 years old.
10 years? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So a new $30 expansion for The Witcher 3 seems interesting to me. And to be honest, I'd probably bite. But like the problem is like I don't know how to play The Witcher 3 anymore. Like I kind of want to not have to like relearn the game. And we complain when DLC is released, like, I don't know, 6 months after a game comes out. It's usually too late. But a 10-year DLC is hilarious to me. I do like the idea and the angle, because we were talking how the Witcher on Netflix has just tanked because the showrunner on the Netflix thing, the first season was good, second season was passable, but they really diverted. They wanted to make their version of The Witcher. And a lot of these creative types that have all this liberty to do what they want with an IP usually want to just put their own touch on all of these things. And it happens with G.I. Joe, it happens with everything. And it's just a shame, because the reason that The Witcher is so well loved and beloved amongst some people is because it's already there. Like, it's great as is. Like, why are we changing it? Can't we just have a real life adaptation? And it got screwed over by the showrunner there at Netflix. So it had a lot of steam, the Witcher franchise, and it died out really fast when Netflix tanked the show. So I'm curious to see what the interest is in this moving forward. It had a lot of steam, and Netflix really didn't do the franchise many favors with the latest season, and with Henry Cavill dipping out. And he dipped out apparently because the showrunner was trying to take so much liberty with the universe and make it her own or whatever, and it ruined things. Jake?
Yeah, the only reason I can think of to make a DLC for this game 10, I guess this would be 12 years after it came out, is to try to boost interest before The Witcher 4 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, it's like The Witcher 4 is probably at least 3 or 4 more years away. And so...
Well, they're saying the end of 2027.
For The Witcher 4.
Mm-hmm.
So that won't happen. So let's say the end of 2028 we'll get The Witcher 4.
Okay, 3 years.
So I guess maybe this is be like a nice little interlude for people, but to me it's like, if that's the case, it's almost got to be like a standalone thing. Like if you're gonna this far out make people buy The Witcher and then buy this DLC, it's like, or it has to be one of these things where it's like, oh, for $30 you get The Witcher 3 and this DLC. Not like, oh, you have to buy The Witcher for $20 and then you have to pay $30 for this DLC pack. So, am I interested? I mean, of course I'm interested. The Witcher 3 was a really good game, but like you said, we're so far beyond The Witcher 3 at this point and that game is so hefty. Do I actually want to get back into it just to play a piece of DLC for it that is not even being developed by CD Projekt Red? I don't know. This would be one of those things where I'd have to see a review of it that says like, yeah, this is a fucking must play kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then maybe I would consider it, but there's too many other games to play. I mean, I'm not really worried about playing The Witcher at this point.
Right.
So,
right.
I don't know. I mean, I'm much more likely to go back to Cyberpunk like you just did and play Phantom Liberty than I am to play The Witcher 3 again. So, I don't know. I mean, whether or not it's real, if it is real, that would be quite interesting. And I'm sure it will do fine because people love The Witcher, but I just don't know if it's necessarily going to be something that I'm all that interested in playing, unless it's like a must-play kind of experience.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see though. Yeah, we'll see. But let's get into the show topic, man. Those are the two news points I had. The show topic is the most anticipated games of 2026. Jake, I put together a 9-game list. Feel free to add anything to this that maybe I haven't put on here. I can already... No, I have it on here. And I just kind of want to start at the top and us just talk about these games and what we're excited about them. And these are all games that are currently set to release next year, as far as I understand. And I don't know if you have any immediate excitement for any of these. We'll weigh our excitement for these games on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most excited, 1 just being meh, I could do with or without. The first one obviously is a big one. This is a PS5 exclusive, and it's Marvel's Wolverine is supposed to be coming out, scheduled for fall of 2026 on the PlayStation 5. This is, of course, coming from Insomniac, and we're going to have... We've seen a lot from this now. We've seen some gameplay. I've seen all I need to see. This game is going to be hyper violent and super cool. And if the way that they've handled Spider-Man has been any gauge on not necessarily Insomniac, but the way that Sony treats these IP is going to be any gauge on what we can expect to see with Marvel's Wolverine, I am, dude, on this, I'm probably like an 8, I would say, on Marvel's Wolverine. I'm super stoked on this. I think this looks fantastic. Now, they just have to nail the landing. They just have to like show us the We've seen bits and pieces. We've seen that they've put the work in. It looks cool. The fighting has to feel good. There's going to be a lot of melee combat. It's got to feel good. The story has to be perfect, and they have to have a good world. I mean, Wolverine doesn't really get around quickly. You know what I mean? He just runs, walks. So how are they going to do traversal? Is this going to be more of a Uncharted-ish linear story, or is it going to be more open world, or what are we going to see with this game? I'm curious about this. And, I mean, my big concern is the mobility of, like, how do you get Wolverine from one location to the next? Is it going to be, like, mini sandboxes, or how are they going to handle this? I don't know. Jake, what do you think about this?
I am really excited for it. I'm probably right around there with you on like the 8 kind of out of 10 scale. It takes a lot kind of to get me really excited anymore for almost anything, just because it seems like games nowadays, they're so, I don't want to say hit or miss. That's not the right word, but like, it seems like games they're on, they get announced so early and then they're delayed so often, and so like the hype level, like inevitably the hype just kind of dies before the game even comes out, and then a lot of times the games come out, we're like, oh, I didn't even know that was coming out, and it's like, well, that's because there's just a million gajillion things coming out. So, but yeah, I would say I'm excited for it. I need to see more of the gameplay, because obviously we saw some like snippets of what we presume is gameplay, but we haven't seen like the HUD. We haven't seen like the actual, like, Sony always does this thing where it's like, oh, here's a mission from the game or whatever. Right. Like, I don't think we've seen anything like that yet. So I think I need a little bit more before I may be willing to bump it up to like a 9, because I think that it does look really good and Insomniac does deliver great experiences. And I'm stoked about how violent it's going to be and how mature it's going to be. But for now, I'm just basing it on the little that we've seen, and my expectations. I expect it to be good, but they're tempered from a hype perspective until we see a little more.
Yeah. Very good. Cool. I feel excited about that one. This next one is a no-brainer. It needs no introduction, and it's going to be probably the largest game ever, if not the largest, if not possibly the biggest game of the last 10 years. That's Grand Theft Auto 6, dude. It was supposed to come out in May, and I think they've pushed it now to like August or something. I can't remember what the new release date is, but I want to say it is 2026 for certain. It might even be October-ish. I can't remember if they pushed it to third quarter or not. I can check it real quick. GTA 6 release date. November 19th, so the very end of 2026, this game will be coming out. So needless to say, dude, I'm a 10 on this. I loved GTA 5. I thought it was good. I know you had trouble with the single-player story. You didn't really get through it. It was acting weird on you. Something happened with GTA 5 story with you. I remember.
I had a game-breaking bug where the campaign wouldn't continue. Yeah. So I just never beat it.
Yeah, that's a shame, man, because I really liked it. And playing the 3 characters was kind of interesting. I did not go back into the game whenever you could do first person. So I know they implemented first person mode and stuff, and I didn't get into it since prior to then even. I played through it. I played a little GTA Online, and I got into it briefly, and then I kind of put it away. And I haven't been back to Grand Theft Auto in forever. I know you've played some of some of the remake or the port or whatever that came out recently, not of 5 or 6, but the earlier ones. And I'm curious to hear. I mean, this is a 10 for me. It just looks. It's that Tom Petty song on that first trailer, dude. It's so awesome. Like dude, it's gonna be a great game. No doubt about it. And I'm just curious to see. And the way that Rockstar talks about it. This is his name, Dan Houser or whatever his name is. He's a business guy, and they know what it means and how important it is to release a game that is essentially like without flaw, like as far as bugs and anything like that. This thing, when it comes out, I think it's going to be a very nice treat for a lot of people. Hopefully, fingers crossed, that it just works and it's awesome. And it's epic. I expect nothing less from Rockstar, honestly, at this point, with how much money they make and generate and their staff and how much time they've created this game. I mean, it really is going to be... this game's going to be a phenomenon. It's going to be everywhere at the end of 2026. Mark my words. It's going to be the only thing most people are talking about. And it may just... Dude, it may get some really bad criticism, too. It may miss the mark. People may think that, man, this game kind of sucks, with all the hype. If you hype something too much, you run the risk of not being able to live up to people's expectations. So, but with what they did with Red Dead Redemption 2, with that world and the detail and the story and the neat, just the weird random chance encounter stuff, and like, I just can't imagine that they don't implement everything that worked in Red Dead Redemption 2 and somehow apply it to Grand Theft Auto 6 and just make it banger and awesome and fun. And I'm stoked on this game. Jake, what do you say?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm quite as high as you. I'm maybe like a 9 for me. Just because GTA is a franchise that I love. I'm just really wary of what this game will transform into after the success of GTA Online. Okay. And that's the only thing that I just don't know about. We also have yet to see any gameplay from the game at all.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So we don't know anything about this game other than that trailer that, don't get me wrong, looked fucking phenomenal. But and it's taking place in Miami, or whatever, Vice City, which is cool. But I think that I'm really excited about it, but I'm, and I have no doubt that they'll deliver. Like, I imagine that this game is going to be one of the best selling games. I bet it'll be the highest. It'll probably be the most pre-ordered game of all time, would be my guess. Before it even releases, they'll sell more copies than any other game has sold on pre-order. And when it comes out, probably the week after launch, it's good for probably another 10 million units. So I wouldn't be shocked if this game is just an absolute bombshell at the box office. But could I see it maybe faltering a little from a critical perspective? Maybe. I'm also really curious about how they're going to handle the humor aspect of it. Because we're in a very, very different atmosphere than we were in 2013. So, are they going to be willing to go as hard with all of the, basically pointing their gun in every single direction? And maybe they will make, let's say, obviously I don't know, but let's give you an example here. Like, in the older Grand Theft Auto games, they would make fun of every political persuasion. They would make fun of like every sexual orientation, all religions, everything got made fun of. It all got made fun of. I guess what I'm a little bit worried about is if some of that stuff, because of the current culture, becomes off limits, and now it's like you have a game that only makes fun of certain religions, only makes fun of certain political persuasions. And then if that's the case, then it might not feel the same. Yeah. And I hope that's not the case, Because the cool thing about Grand Theft Auto 5 and all the games before that is it was the world we live in. All of those things, all the persuasions, the left and the right, the up and the down, the gay and the straight, all that stuff was there in the world just as it existed. It exists in real life, but it's just all just blown way out of proportion, amplified to a million. And that was what was so cool about it. So I am imagining that this game is going to be amazing. But I am curious about a couple things. One, how are they going to handle the humor in today's environment? And two, is any of that GTA Online stink going to affect the main game? Like, am I going to have to is the main game going to be online?
Right.
Like, is there not going to be an offline mode anymore? Like, that's something that I'm worried about. So we'll have to see. I mean, maybe they've talked about it, but I don't know. But yeah, that's where I'm at with GTA.
Cool. Yeah, I am curious about the online component. I'm also... Dude, we've only seen pretty much the two main characters. I mean, these Grand Theft Auto games are just littered with personalities and different, NPCs, and I'm just so excited to see what the fuck they come up with, man. I don't know. I just think I personally don't think that they're going to shy away from any topics. I think they're just going to go balls out and give us what they're good at doing, and I hope that that's what they do. I hope they make fun of everything. Yeah, that would be awesome. Well, Jake, the next one is there's a new Resident Evil on the way, and a lot of fans are buzzing about this. And it's right around the corner. We know it's going to star a new protagonist, Grace Ashcroft. She is going to be a young FBI analyst. She has ties to Raccoon City's dark past. Leon Kennedy may return for some action-heavy sections. In fact, I'm pretty sure he is. The gameplay seems kind of focused on stealth and survival when you're playing as Grace, and then it seems like you're going to have first and third person perspectives, and we're kind of wondering how tense this is going to feel. It sounds like from people who had early hands-on demo play of this game that you can toggle between first and third person at any point. It's not like when you select one, you're stuck in it for your entire playthrough. You can toggle it back and forth. So it's also the first mainline Resident Evil to revisit Raccoon City in decades. So there's a lot of speculation about what locations, what kind of monsters, characters are going to be returning. And that's Resident Evil Requiem. And right now, excitement and debate in the community are at a fever pitch. So I think that people are jazzed about this. I'm very excited about it. This is Resident Evil and Capcom have been knocking it out of the park so much. Now, they did come out and say that there are no VR plans for this title. And I believe that the VR versions of these games have been funded by other outside opportunists, So I think that they said it's not off the table, but they have not started it and they're not trying to do it. So I am kind of excited about this. And I believe early 2026. Do we have a release date on Requiem yet? I don't know. I thought it was going to be March or February.
I think
February 27th.
Yeah, it's...
So that's kind of cool, dude. I'm totally stoked for it. If I were to give this a scale of 1 to 10 for my excitement, just because I just came out of Silent Hill 2, I don't want to slog, and Resident Evil games can tend to get a little long, and especially when you have to have multiple playthroughs because you get to choose your character or whatever. And obviously the Leon Kennedy stuff is going to be a little more action focused. But I think that I'm probably around a 7 on this, mid 7 to just a straight 7 on Resident Evil Requiem. I am excited about it, but I'm just a little horrored out. I'm playing Arizona Sunshine now. Silent Hill 2 I just got through. I feel like I've played another horror game this year. I don't know what it was. But, dude, nobody has been doing these games better than Capcom. Better than the Resident Evil franchise, in my opinion. They fucking kill it. They're so fun, and they're good. The pacing's always really nice on these, so I'm excited to see what they cook up. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I'm excited for Requiem. Now, I wasn't an early adopter of Village, but I did really like the game in the end when I played it. And I think I only played it in VR. I don't think I played it in flat screen. And so I'm curious about my mood going into Requiem when it launches, because it does come out pretty soon. I don't think I guess it depends on what else is coming out around it. I don't think there's a ton of import coming out around it, so it's entirely possible that I get to this at launch just because it's going to be right there with nothing else necessarily to play. So, yeah, I'm excited about it. I think it looks great. Obviously, Leon Kennedy being in it is cool. I mean, whatever. He's in a lot of them, so it's like...
It's not like...
Yeah, okay. He wasn't in the last two. I get it. He wasn't in 7 or 8, but he's going to be in 9, so cool.
He's going to be older.
Yeah. Which will be interesting to see how they do that. I have to decide if I want to play this in first or third person, because I did really enjoy 7 and 8 in first person. I thought that it really kind of added to the experience, but there is something to be said about that just getting done with Silent Hill 2. There's something to be said about that just traditional third person over the shoulder Resident Evil experience. And so we'll have to see. I'm curious if they will come out and say, like, yeah, this is the developer preferred perspective. It's like, yeah, okay, the developer thinks that the preferred perspective is first person, but third person's awesome too. Or if they'll come out and say the opposite, or if they'll come out and say it doesn't fucking matter. I don't know. I have to imagine it matters, because first person has to be scarier than third person. It just has to be. I mean, you're not able to like look around corners and shit like you can in third person. You have less perspective. You're much more in the game. We'll have to see. Yeah, I am excited about this.
I will say this, just to piggyback on your first and third person speculation. I think that there could be an argument to be made that you should maybe play Leon Kennedy's story first person and Grace's in third. If she's stealth puzzle, I think third person makes the most sense with her. If it's first person, it might even be more scary, I guess, if you're first person Grace and you're hiding under beds and shit. Who knows? But like, I just feel like I feel like from a gameplay perspective, I would rather be doing stealth in third person as opposed to first person. But anyways.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you there.
All right. Well, there's another huge open world game, Jake, that's slated to come out in 2026. This is a title that's been in the works for years. It's had delays. There's been gameplay reveals, plenty of curiosity about what it will finally deliver. There have been demos showcasing combat, exploration, intense boss fights, sprawling landscapes, and we're kind of wondering, how this is all going to feel. So it all builds up. That game, Crimson Desert, it's an ambitious open-world action-adventure from Pearl Abyss, and it's set to launch March 19th on PS5, Xbox Series XS, and PC. And I would say fans are just kind of wondering if it's going to live up to the long-awaited high expectations. I mean, I know a lot of people are really excited about this game. I can't necessarily say that I am very excited for this game, but I know that a lot of people have been talking about Crimson Desert for a very long time. Jake, do you have anything on Crimson Desert? Are you interested?
Yeah, I think the game looks amazing. It's like you said, though, it's been kind of hyped up for a long time now, and I'm not exactly sure how I'll feel about such a big undertaking whenever it finally releases. Depends on my state of mind at the time, but I am excited about playing it. I think it looks really good. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, I've talked to, every time this game comes up on the show, I talk about how excited I am. And so I think that the gameplay looks really good. I think the graphics look really good. I know some people have gone all hands-on with it, and they've said that it's actually really fun to play. So
it's beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks great. I'm really, really excited about it.
What would you give it? Scale of 1 to 10. Now, I would say right now, just because I don't know a whole lot about it, it looks a lot like The Witcher to me, as far as the third-person vibe, the landscapes. I just don't know that I want to dive into a big game like this, especially since I haven't played Ghost of Yotei yet. But I would say that, it's probably not going to be a flop. I just hope it's not middling, but I'm kind of going to give it a middling excitement scale of probably like a 6 for me.
I'm probably at like a 7 or an 8. Because I do really, and every now and again, I'm in the mood for one of these kinds of games. This like medieval style. I mean, like I think it was last year I played Dragon's Dogma 2, and I was into that one. So, yeah, I would say that I'm probably about but because it's like this game's been around for so long that I just keep forgetting about it because it just never comes out. So it's like, okay, well, I guess 7 or 8 for me. Maybe by the time we get closer to it, it'll be more of like an 8 or a 9. But I don't know that it's 10 material for me. Yeah.
Well, next up on the anticipated games for 2026, and this here is an action RPG from Team Ninja. And again, we are going back into the world of Nioh with Nioh 3. We've seen demos, trailers showing off the samurai ninja combat style open field exploration, all the crazy difficult encounters this game's going to have to offer, and even some multiplayer co-op in demo builds. But players are kind of guessing just how deep the progression and customization is going to go in this game, and how this story is going to be unfolding, and whether the entry can top the already beloved predecessors, Jake. All that speculation and excitement builds up to Nioh 3. Like I said, it's coming out February 6th, 2026 on PlayStation 5 and PC. And right now, everybody is curious, can this do what few games can do? And that's be better than the previous versions. Can it supersede Nioh 1 and Nioh 2? And what is the excitement gauge for a game like this? I know people love Team Ninja. This is not my wheelhouse. I would say this is probably a 2 for me. But I know that people are really stoked on this game, so I included it in our list here today. What about you, Jake?
Yeah, I mean, this game's like a, somewhere between like a 2 and a 5 for me, just because I don't like Souls games. But I did play a bit of the first one, and I enjoyed what I played. I always hit a wall with these games, where it's just like I'm not willing to put the work in to get any further in this game. And so it's not necessarily for me. This one looks a lot wackier than the first two, just in terms of like the presentation and the story and everything. So I'm not really sure what's going on there, but I imagine people are excited for it because people like Souls games, and I know Nioh has a pretty strong fan base. I mean, obviously there wouldn't be 3 of them if it wasn't the case. So I'm just going to have to trust, and I don't think that they're going to make a bad game here by any means. It's just whether or not it's going to sell well. So yeah, I mean, that's really all my thoughts are on it. I don't really have too much to say other than I'm not really that excited for it just because it's not my genre.
Yeah, right. No, I get it. Same. Well, let's move forward to the next one I have on here. This next one's a big one. This is a huge game. We've seen some on. It's a fresh take on an iconic franchise, and this is from the Hitman developers at IO Interactive. This game promises action. We're going to probably get some gadgets, espionage, and a James Bond story that we probably have never seen before. We're kind of wondering how deep the spycraft and stealth are going to go with this game. I wonder how cinematic the missions are going to feel. Is this original story going to redefine James Bond in video games? We've had the classic 007 games, the James Bond games back in the day. Everybody loved. But the release is set for May 27th, 2026, the day after my birthday. Speculation is running wild, Jake, just about how big and polished this game's actually going to be. Some people even suggest that if it can deliver on the cinematic missions and thrilling set pieces, could 007 First Light give players an adventure fix that we have been looking for since Uncharted? And can it be wrapped up in a Bond-style espionage story? Is this going to be the game that delivers that fix for us? And it's shaping up to be one of the most exciting releases of the year, I'd say. And the community buzz on this one is just, it's absolutely unhinged. People are stoked on this game. And I just wonder, Jake, the more I think about this game, the more, like, I love the Hitman games, and I know how good they can be. I always felt like the graphics in Hitman have not been great. Like, the cinematics have been good, but the actual gameplay, like, everything, like, the textures aren't there. Like, you know what I mean? Some people would argue that I'm crazy about that and that it's not accurate, but, like, Hitman specialized on its own weird moving world and doing things the own way. And I think they're going to lean into that with the espionage angle for the James Bond game, the 007 First Light, where, like, you have, like, any way you want to do it, you got to break into this mansion, plant some sort of recording device, and get information to propel your mission. You know what I mean? Like, and then you're going to have all these different things happening. But if they can deliver on some linear gameplay, some of what I've seen, man, it's got an Uncharted vibe to it. Just the different environments, the different landscapes. I think that they could be onto something really special here. So this game for me, man, I'm going to say is an 8. I want to see even a little more, but I actually don't want to see more at the same time. I'm rooting for IO Interactive for sure. It's a studio that I like a lot. They've always supported Hitman stuff in VR, so they're VR people also. I think Hitman's a cool game, and I like that they're branching out and they're taking on an IP that doesn't belong to them, and they're going to try to do something special with it. So what do you think, Jake? How do you feel about this 007 First Light game?
Yeah, I'm stoked about it. I'm probably about maybe like a 9 for this. I think that it could be a really cool new thing. Now, there was some stuff like when they showed that some of that gameplay footage where it was like 5 or 10 minutes of you just like driving a car around, like with like people in the back, like a chauffeur to start a mission. I was like,
right.
We're gonna have a lot of shit like this where I'm just like fucking, doing some really mundane crap for the sake of the story. But otherwise, I think visually it looks cool. I think conceptually it looks awesome. The trailers look great. I think James Bond is a character that can be refreshed in almost a million different ways. I mean, they've done it in the movies countless times. So, why not try it with video games? And is this going to be, like GoldenEye era James Bond? Probably not, but it might be like, it might bring in like the next golden era of James Bond. Could. You're talking about, in the 90s we had GoldenEye, and then we had like, some like going into the early disc, like PS2 DVD era, we had some first person James Bond games that were kind of in the same vein. Yeah. And now it's like, well, now maybe we're going to get the action adventure version of GoldenEye, or not GoldenEye, James Bond. And this is it. It's a reboot of him. Yeah. I'm really stoked that they didn't like shove Tom Holland into this. And then it's going to be kind of like its own thing, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, dude. I think it's going to be really good. And
I think what they showed of the gadgets looks really cool, and I'm curious to see if it feels as cool to play with them as it looks to play with them. If that makes any sense.
Yeah,
because there have been times before where there's been times before in games where we've gotten like weird gadgets and gimmicks and stuff, and they look really cool in pre-release content, and then you go to use them, and you're like, this is kind of underwhelming.
Yeah, it's the one game that had one of the coolest fucking gadgets in it that I saw. I've never seen any game do it before. Was The Division, with that roly-poly bomb that you put on the ground, and it just chased enemies. It was so cool when they put that down in the demo. I was like, holy shit, that's fucking rad. I want to deploy those. But yeah, you never know how those gadgets are going to feel. But Jake, moving forward, there's another game coming out in 2026, and this is a Housemarque game. And Housemarque, of course, being the developer behind Returnal, and they are offering a brand new action title that many people are calling, and maybe even them themselves, I'm not quite sure, but a spiritual successor to the acclaimed roguelike shooter Returnal. So early trailers show fast-paced third-person combat. This is a sci-fi heavy action genre. And there are like innovative mechanics in this game, like a shield that absorbs enemy fire, permanent upgrades that carry between runs. This evolves the Returnal formula, hopefully with meaningful progression. And it promises a haunting narrative, Jake, from what I'm seeing. And I can't pronounce his name, but it's Arjundevraj. Is it Arjun Devraj? He's an actor. He was in what was the vampire Midnight Mass, I believe, on Netflix. But there's going to be a lot of cinematic action in this game. And the game is Saros, however you want to pronounce it. It's set to release in the second quarter of 2026, and it's coming out on PC and PlayStation 5. And a lot of people, Jake, I know you loved Returnal. I know you really enjoy Housemarque. And if they've taken the lessons that they've learned from the release of Returnal and they apply them to another game like this, set in the same kind of environment, we're presuming, I don't know how much this is going to be in canon with Returnal or not, but Saros, what do you think about this? I was so stoked for Returnal, and I got to like the third world, and I was just like, I just don't have the chops, man. I just can't do it. So hopefully this game is less brutal and a little easier to navigate than Returnal, and they've learned from that a little bit, looking at the completion rates, probably that they have all that analytics and data from Returnal. And hopefully Saros is a little easier. Not easy, but easier than Returnal. And what do you think about this? I'm probably about a 7 on Saros.
Yeah, I think I'm about like a... It's tough for me to say. Like, based on my history with Returnal, if you had asked me, like, at the end of 2020 after Returnal came out, or whenever that was, 2021, I don't remember, I'd have been like, I'm a 10. I'm super excited for it. but now that it's been like 5 years, I'm like, just like another roguelike. But I am guessing that this game is going to play just as well as Returnal did. It's got some new features that seem kind of cool. I'm going to give this one a 9 just because I did love Returnal so much. And I think that they're going to do a lot more like permanent upgrade type stuff with the progression. So it should hopefully make it a little bit more accessible to the people that got filtered by Returnal. I know specifically a lot of people got filtered by that third boss from World 3.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of hoping that they do something, to allow you to progress a little bit more with every death, kind of like they do with Hades or something.
Yeah.
Where the gameplay is so fun that you're just willing to go back and play and play and play, and then as you die, you get stronger and stronger, and then you can kind of get farther and farther. Like, I really hope they do that, and they don't just make it straight arcadey like Returnal, where it's just like, get RNG and get good, which is kind of like the name of the game in that particular game. So, yeah.
Cool.
But I think the setting looks cool. There's actually other NPCs in the game, which will be kind of neat. So I'm curious what the story is going to be like.
Yeah, maybe it won't feel as lonely as the other one.
Yeah.
You know? Cool. Yeah, I'm excited for it too. I think it's going to be a big hit for PlayStation in 2026. I think it's going to go over well. But with that being said, Jake, there's even another game in 2026 that people are stoked about. There's a new Marvel fighting game. It's coming from Arc System Works, and they're the studio behind Guilty Gear, Blaze Blue, Dragon Ball Fighter Z. And they're working in collaboration with PlayStation Studios and Marvel Games. It's going to pit teams of 4 heroes or villains against each other in 4 versus 4 battles. The character's going to have a shared health bar. It's going to make teamwork just as important as individual skill. And we've seen characters like Iron Man, Spider-Man, Storm, Doctor Doom in the demos. And fighting game fans are super stoked about the anime-inspired visuals, the tag-ins, and how this could possibly shake up competitive play in their world. So all that builds up to Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. It's coming in 2026 to PS5 and PC. And right now, the excitement and speculation in the fighting game community are just, they're wild about this game. I know a lot of people have already drawn criticisms. Some people are just saying this game's it for them. Being a person who wants so badly to be great at fighting games, I love Street Fighter. I love Mortal Kombat. I liked DC Universe. I think, what was it called? DC, what was it called? It was Universe? Was DC Universe? What was that?
You're
DC?
talking about Injustice?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Injustice. Gods Among Us or whatever they are. DC Universe is an old RPG. But, dude, I've loved fighting games my whole life. And I'm not talking beat 'em ups. I'm talking like usually I love Marvel vs. Capcom. Man, I just suck at these freaking games. But this game, I gotta admit, there is a little special something to the way it looks that really makes me want to try it at the very least. But I don't know that I'll actually get into it. My excitement stems around my excitement for just having another potentially awesome fighter that I'll never play but will want to be good at and try.
Yeah.
So I'm probably like, I'm just happy this thing is existing. So I'm probably around a 7 on this. I probably will never buy it. If it ever becomes free, I sure as hell will download it and fuck with it. But dude, I'm not gonna pay $70 or whatever this game's gonna cost to play for 2 days by myself. You know what I mean? That just ain't gonna happen. But it looks awesome. This game looks cool. I think it's something everybody should get excited for.
Yeah, I'm about a 2, and that 2 is 100% for the visuals of the game. Because I'm not going to play this. More than likely, I'm not going to play this. It's not for me. I don't play fighting games. I used to, like you, I love the idea of being good at fighting games. But I'm just, it's like a lifestyle to be good at fighting games.
Yeah,
it's
it
like
really is. Yeah,
a sport you have to practice and you know, and it's just not for me. But I'm excited for the community, and I'm excited for the fact that they're making a game that looks this fucking rad. Mm-hmm. But I just don't. I don't believe that it's going to be a game for me.
Yeah, dude. If I were in college and I had a roommate, or if I lived in an apartment with some buddies,
yeah,
I would probably buy the game, knowing that I had gamer friends that would sit on a couch and play with me. You know what I mean? But just living by yourself, with no one to play games with, it's just like one of those things where it's like, fuck, man. Like I don't want to play people online, because anyone who buys this game plays online, they're gonna be better than me. You know what I mean? They're just gonna be better, and it's not gonna be fun for me. That's the thing. So, needless to say, I digress. I'm with you on that. We got 2 more quick games to talk about for our excitement of 2026, and then Jake, if you have any runner-ups or anything like that you'd like to discuss afterwards, We'll get to that. But there's another game This is going to be another cinematic horror experience from Supermassive. Everybody who listens to the podcast knows that I love Supermassive games. I'm a big fan of them. They were the studio behind Until Dawn, the Dark Pictures anthology, The Quarry, and they also had that one. Oh man, what the hell was that other one that I played? Oh gosh, maybe it was The Quarry that I'm thinking of. I thought there was another one. They've had so many games, needless to say. A lot of choice-driven, interactive drama kind of style gameplay that kind of keeps you on the edge. They're taking this branching narrative thing that they do, that I feel they do so well, into a sci-fi survival horror environment. So this game is essentially a crew that's aboard a colony ship that crash lands, and they have to survive against a shape-shifting alien threat that can mimic its prey. So it's a lot kind of like The Thing.
The Thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like with the choice-driven thing, conversations with other people, like in the game, like NPCs, like you're gonna be wondering, is this the thing? Is this? Am I talking to the alien right now? Like, how am I gonna handle this situation? So you're gonna control multiple protagonists. Obviously, there's gonna be life and death decisions, and it builds up to. It's called Directive 8020. It is set to launch in the first half of 2026 on PS5, Xbox Series XS, and PC. And I will say that unfortunately, the guy that was involved in the Dark Pictures anthology, the narrator, is that his name? The narrator? I forget what his name was. He passed away.
Oh, you're talking about the guy that said the words.
Yeah. I can't remember what they called him. The commissioner. No, it wasn't the commissioner. Fucking the Batman or something. But anyways, he passed away in real life. So I don't think that's the reason why they've slowed down the Dark Pictures anthology. But we haven't seen anything from Supermassive in a long time. And they have said that this game is going to be they're retweaking all of their stuff to give us a better experience. And I really hope that they deliver on this. I hope that this game is like a sleeper hit for them. I hope that, I haven't heard a lot of buzz about it, but I know it's coming out. And man, I gotta say that I'm excited for this. I think it's gonna be awesome. And I'm gonna say an 8 for this 8020, Directive 8020. I think it looks cool as shit, and we haven't seen a whole lot from it. I don't know that it's gonna be for everybody, but being that I've played pretty much all of the Supermassive games, and I know what I'm getting into, I hope that this is a pleasant surprise and they just take it up, up a notch. Everything that I like about it, they just make it better. Because they are a little jank. Their games are a little jank. But anyways, I digress. Jake, what do you think about Directive 8020?
I know when it was first announced, I was really excited about it. Because I do think it looks cool, and I like the idea of them doing something different. It might be something that I'm interested in actually jumping into, because I'm not worried about all the other stuff with it. I know the Dark Pictures games aren't connected per se, but I don't know. I just didn't really feel like jumping into that, and this one actually looks interesting enough for me to be maybe curious about checking it out. So we'll have to see. I mean, I'm going to say this is probably like a 7 for me, because I do think that I would like to play it, assuming it doesn't come out and get widely panned as being, bad. But as of right now, I'm not it takes a lot for me to be interested in these kind of conversational adventure-y style games anymore. Obviously I just did Dispatch and I loved that game, but the gameplay component of Dispatch outside of the conversations was also interesting. And it wasn't just walking around clicking on stuff. So, we'll have to see what this game actually looks like when it comes out. And then I'll maybe be a little more hyped about it.
Yeah. I'll say the other game of theirs that they put out that I played was The Casting of Frank Stone.
Yeah.
And I like that one. And they did Switchback VR, which I never did beat. But I would like to go back and maybe beat Switchback VR as well. That was a cool game. But yeah, very good, Jake. Yeah, I think that That's pretty cool, and I'm excited for it. And I hope you do try it. I hope you do try it because I hope that it's going to be good. I did like the Murder House one that they did, which was The Devil in Me. The last Dark Pictures anthology game they did was in 2022, and then Switchback VR came out in 23, and then Casting of Frank Stone was 24. They did help with Little Nightmares 3 with Bandai Namco, so that would be their most recent release, I believe, that they were involved in, and that was just last year. But I think that they've put the majority of their effort towards this Directive 8020, and I think it's going to be good. All right, well, the last title that I have here for Games 2026, this was kind of a last-minute announcement that came out recently at the Game Awards. So it's a reimagining of one of, obviously gaming's most iconic adventures. This comes from Crystal Dynamics, so the longtime stewards of Tomb Raider. So they're working with Flying Wild Hog, and this game is actually being published by Amazon Game Studios. Tomb Raider's modern reboot trilogy and Flying Wild Hog is known for fast-paced action games. So people are kind of excited for this. So it isn't just a remaster. So they're doing Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis. It's going to be a ground-up reimagining of that original 96 Tomb Raider game. It's being made with Unreal Engine 5. We're going to get modern visuals, bigger worlds, broader puzzles, and the plan is to still honor that original game as we know it and love it. I think the trailer showed a lot of cool stuff that we saw at the Game Awards, and it's I don't know. It's planned to launch in 2026. We'll see if it makes that date, that window. PS5, Xbox Series XS, and PC. There's a lot of speculation about how this is going to balance nostalgia with just a modern adventure. And is it going to feel at all like the original Tomb Raider? Going back and looking at that original 96 Tomb Raider, dude, it's pretty jank. It's rough. Yeah. So I don't know. Is this something that you're going to sink your teeth into and try out, do you think? Or are you going to wait for the quote unquote real Tomb Raider that's probably 27, 28? Or do you think you might try this out?
I honestly might almost be more excited for the remake of the original than the new one. My main curiosity with the new one is how are they going to like introduce the fact that, like, is this the same Lara Croft? I mean, obviously it's not like maybe it's like in the future or something like that. It's not the same like timeline or whatever, but like, is it like, oh, well, this is Lara after 10 years have passed after the reboot trilogy or something like that.
I see.
So I'm curious like how that's going to play out. But generally, from like experiencing a gameplay, like the gameplay perspective, I'm almost more interested in this one here than I am in that new one, just because I am curious. I never did play the original, other than like, maybe some brief, playing at a friend's house for a little bit or something like that. So like, I don't really have much experience with it, and so I am excited about it. I would say my excitement about it is probably not much higher than like a 7.
Yeah.
But I do think that it's something that I am, depending on what releases around it, I might be interested in checking it out, and actually how expensive it is when it comes out. Is it going to be full price? Is it going to be like a $50 game? I'm quite curious about that.
I would imagine it's going to be full price, but that's a great question, man. We can't possibly know until they announce it, but I think on a scale of 1 to 10, man, for me, this game is probably, again, around the 7 range. I guess I just need to see, I would like to see a little more. The one thing that, some people are really moved and excited by dinosaurs. That ain't me, man. I've got minimal interest in dinosaurs for whatever reason. They don't do it for me. The closest thing to a dinosaur that got me stoked was Horizon. But being chased around by a little mini T-Rex or chased around a forest by a Tyrannosaurus Rex in a Tomb Raider game just seems cheesy to me. I don't know. It's my least favorite part of any Tomb Raider game were the dinosaurs. And it kind of is a turnoff for me. But if they do it right, maybe I could dig this game. But I'm about a 7. So, that being said, I'm not a dinosaur guy. That's a really funny thing.
I mean, it's just interesting because like this is the origin of Tomb Raider. So it's not like like what we played in whatever that was, 2015 or 2014 or 16 or whenever the reboot came out. That was new. Right. But I get where you're coming with the dinosaurs. It does seem a little bit like, like a kid came up with this on his lunch break.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. Unless it's like, there's a lot of stupid shit in Uncharted too, to be honest. Like, like the paranormal stuff that happens and stuff, But if they could somehow tie like the dinosaur thing to like some weird time travel thing that happens, I honestly don't even remember the story of the original Tomb Raider. I may not have even completed it. So who am I to say? I'm just saying, like, guns and dinosaurs just seems kind of lame to me. But it's what it is, man. It's what it is. I think it could stand to be a good game, though, and I think a lot of people are excited for it. But I had to add it to the list here. Jake, I have already forgotten. I'm looking at our notes. I'm getting the episode summary together. What was the third game that you talked about? I'm drawing a blank.
What are you referring to? I guess
you played Silent Hill 2 Remake. You beat it. You played Stardew Valley. What was the third one?
The Outer Worlds 2.
Thank you.
So I have a few games that I just want to kind of run through real quick that I'm excited about, and I'm just curious if you have any thoughts on any of them, and then we can kind of wrap this up. The first one on my list, and this is like a passing, because I'm always interested in these kinds of games and seeing how well they capture the spirit of it, is Ride 6 comes out next year, which is the newest version of Ride, which is a motorcycle racing series. And it's not like MotoGP where it's like one series of racing. It's like all over the place. And I'm always curious how they kind of make it work. Because my biggest problem with Ride 5 was that I couldn't like pick a class and do like a career mode in that racing class. It was like you start a career and it's like, oh, you do like one race on 300s, and then they make you do like 2 races on 600s, and then they make you do like a race on like a street race in fucking Australia, and then it's not like, oh, I want to do like a street racing circuit in the UK, or I want to do a like a superbike circuit wherever, you know what I mean? So like I'm curious at how that will all play out. And I just want one of these games. Like Ride, it would be awesome if they had a VR mode for it, because it just looks so good. So I would be really curious to see it. Now, I know we talked about that VR motorcycle racing game that came out, but I know there's a lot of like stinkiness about it that needs to be sorted out before I'm really all that excited about it. And I'm assuming you don't really have any thoughts on this because you don't really play too much in these. I don't think you've ever played one of these games, right? I know you sent me a video and you're like, oh, this looks awesome.
Yeah, no, I've never played one. No.
They tend to be very hard too, like much harder than car games, just because of the balance and all that stuff. The next game I have on here is High on Life 2. I talked about how recently I started playing High on Life again, and how much I really liked it. And the sequel comes out supposedly this coming year, and I'm really curious to see how they evolve upon the original game. Yeah. because the first one was a great surprise. So, and you've never played the first one, right?
No. Is it on PlayStation?
I believe it's on PS Plus Extra. I think that's how I have it installed right now.
Yeah. This comes out in February,
if you wanted to try it, you could. I do think it's earlier in the year. Yeah, I don't know the date specifically. The next game I have on my list is Pragmata, which I talked about, last episode about how I played the PC demo for it. It just seems it's a really interesting, like, third-person sci-fi shooter. It's got this really interesting hacking mechanic that goes into the combat that, like, makes characters vulnerable, like the enemies vulnerable and stuff like that. And I'm just really excited to see how the game plays out. And it's Capcom, which is also which they've also been releasing nothing but bangers recently. So I'm hoping for goodness, even though this game was announced at the reveal event for the PS5. So it's been a long time coming. Hopefully it actually is as good as it says. Are you excited for this at all? I don't know if I know your experience.
I am, but I'm not. Like, I love the environment. I love the idea, but when I saw gameplay, it kind of left a meh in me. This is, to be clear, this is Capcom's first completely new IP that they've come up with in years. So everyone's kind of excited to see if this is going to launch like a new franchise for them. It is set to release April 24th. And the other thing that kind of bothers me a little bit, it has a Nintendo Switch 2 planned release.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't know what we're going to be able to expect. You played the demo, Jake. I didn't play the demo. I do like everything you talked about regarding the hacking and stuff. And, one of the games that I played that was a bit out of my wheelhouse a long time ago was that Nier Automata game. And it kind of had a weird vibe to it also. But it stuck with me, and I liked it. So I just don't know how conventional Pragmata is actually going to be, and if the story's going to hold up. If the story's good, I think I'm in.
It definitely has some Japanese flavor to it. So don't expect it to be like a cinematic adventure like a Naughty Dog game or something. Yeah. It's going to be more like a Nier Automata in terms of the way that, like, the story is told, or think of like maybe a little bit of a lower tier, like a Resident Evil, or like like a Kojima game or something like that, where it's got a little more flavor to it than what we would experience out of a traditional Western style narrative. But I believe that the demo is coming to PlayStation 5 at some point here soon, so you should play it. It's only like 20 minutes or half hour long.
Yeah, I'll give the demo a try.
And just see if you like it, because I thought it was really interesting when I played it. Whether I'm going to play it at launch or not, I don't know. I might see how it kind of pans out in the reviews, but I am excited for it to see how it does and what it's like, and if it's a game I could get into. The next game I have on here that I'm just kind of interested in is the new Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight game. I think it looks really cool. I don't really play these Lego games, but this one in particular looks surprisingly good. So, but I mean, as a Star Wars fan, I didn't even really care about the Skywalker saga when it came out. So I'm not entirely sure that I'll play this, but I just thought that it looked really good. So that comes out this year. Do you care about Lego games at all? Or
I almost jumped into the Horizon Lego game today.
Oh, right, because we got it on PS Plus.
I do like them. I don't take issue with any of them. Let me thinking about different Lego games and stuff. Is there a Lego Indiana Jones game?
There might be. It wouldn't surprise me if there was, but I actually don't know.
That would be perfect if there were, like the trifecta, all three of the three main movies. That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
but I don't know if there is. But I do enjoy Lego games. Again, it's just got to be the right timing, and I'd say now would be a pretty good time to try out a Lego game. Honestly,
sure.
They're kind of fun. Like, you can't really lose. They're kind of collectathons also.
It's more of like just kind of like a fun, like you were talking about a palate cleanser earlier, where it's just like you're just kind of running around,
minimal challenge,
beating stuff up and collecting bricks. I mean, it's not like it's a big deal while also going through a story that a satirized version of the story, a story that you might know and care about. So yeah, I'm like I said, I'm interested in it.
Yeah.
I have Phantom Blade Zero on here, but only if it's not a Souls-like. If it's a Souls-like, I don't care about this game at all. Mm-hmm. But if it's not a Souls-like and it's more of like just an action hack and slash RPG kind of game, I can see myself getting into it because it does look interesting. Yeah. But I'm not like, I'm going to say like maybe a 5 or a 6 in the excitement scale on this, just because it's just another like Asian inspired action game, and it stinks a little bit of a Souls-like, and if that's the case, then I'm kind of out on it.
Yeah, it's a September release, and there are some comparisons of this to that Black Myth Wukong game, which is also kind of Souls-likey, but I think this game's on Unreal Engine 5. But I think one of the things about this game that I think they've been toting is just like having there be like 30 some different weapons and different combat styles. You can mix and match with the different weapons. So I think that is one of the things that they're kind of like drilling down. But I don't know, man. It doesn't really do anything for me. It doesn't move the needle at all.
Yeah. The next game that I actually am really excited about is the game Ontos, which is the next game from the team that did this game. From the team that did Soma. It's their next game, and it looks fucking sick. So I am really excited about this game. I assume you probably are too, Fred.
Yeah, they didn't give too tight of a release window, though. They just said 2026, which is why I think it slipped by me. I loved Soma. Didn't Frictional also do Amnesia?
They did the Dark Descent, maybe, or the Bunker. They did a few of them. They did the Bunker, the Dark Descent, Rebirth, A Machine for Pigs. So yeah, I guess they did a bunch of Amnesia games. And they did Soma, and now this game, which, with you, I really, and we talked about this a couple weeks ago when we talked about the Game Awards. I loved Soma, so
yeah, me too.
I love the idea of like just a short 5 to 7 hour kind of, walking experience with a little bit of challenge to it that provides you with great atmosphere and a story, and I think it just looks rad.
Yeah, it does look good. That's a good one to bring up. I forgot all about this.
Another game that's on here, and I don't know if this will come out next year or not, is The Blood of Dawnwalker, which is that vampire game that's being made by members of the team that did The Witcher 3. And it looks really good. So if it comes out next year, I might be pretty excited about it. But there's so many games coming out that I keep forgetting about this. But I remember that first trailer that came out, I was just blown away by it. And even like some of the gameplay they showed was pretty interesting. So yeah, I'm optimistic about this one, I think.
Yeah, this is from that new studio, Rebel Wolves. That's what they're called. So it's coming in 2026. That is what we've heard. It is dark fantasy. So CD Projekt Red developers have kind of broken off and done some stuff with this game. And the vampire leaning is cool. I've been watching, I sent you a text earlier about it, but I've been watching the Castlevania Netflix anime series, and I'm in season 2, episode 3, and I'm liking the vibe, but I am curious to see how this Blood of Dawnwalker game shakes out. And I haven't really heard a whole lot about it, but it is something that I would say that I'm probably about a 7 or 8 as far as the excitement, just out of the curiosity scale. It does look cool. And another good one, Jake. I mean, there's a lot of games coming out. I think there's a lot to be excited for in 2026. I just... I don't know, man. There's a lot of stuff. But the ones that I had in our notes were all things that were on the tip of my tongue. But as you were clearly pointing out, there are a lot of games, even more to be excited about.
Yeah, so. And I just have one more, and that's Halo Campaign Evolved, which is the remake of the first Halo game. It's coming to PlayStation next year for the first time, which is wild on its own, let alone the fact that, I fucking love the first Halo game. So I'm excited to play through it again in this new, like, refreshed form, and it sounds like they've made some changes to the original one that kind of need to be made. There's some stuff like I think it's the library level where it's just like the same fucking thing over and over and over again. I think they might have fixed that and a few other things. So not to mention just the graphical overhaul. I'm excited to see how people receive this on PlayStation. Yeah. So yeah, I'm super stoked about it. And you've never played a Halo game, right?
No, dude. No.
So you might be interested in trying this too. I mean, if it, when it comes out. Which I think is like probably going to end up being fall next year, would be my guess.
Yeah, there's going to be expanded gameplay also, So aiming down the sights, hijackable enemy vehicles, sprinting, which I don't know if that was in the original Halo, but I'm looking some stuff up right now.
I don't think it was. Indicating you're
going to get sprinting and even a wider arsenal of weapons, probably from different Halo games you can use now in the first one. So, there's going to be prequel missions that weren't there before.
Oh yeah, and I forgot they're adding they're like putting the sword in, which didn't come out until Halo 2. So yeah, there's I'm cautiously optimistic about this port because I really do like that first game.
Well, it's going to be a full ground up remake, they're saying, right? So
I believe so. Yeah.
So that's going to be awesome. Yeah. Yeah, interesting. But there's no solid date. It's just 2026, I think. Is there a date? Are you seeing a date on this?
No, I don't think there is a date yet. I think it's just announced for next year. My guess is it'll probably be closer to the fall would be my guess. I don't know if there's like an anniversary next year or something for the original Halo. There might be.
Okay.
Actually, next year might be the 25th anniversary. So it might be coming out on the 25th anniversary, which would be next November, maybe, or October.
Yeah. Huh.
That's all I got.
Well, that's a lot of freaking games we've talked about. I'll say. It's a great way to cap off 2025, which was the intention of today's show. I guess I think that, like, we'll see, man. We'll see where this goes. And video games just keep getting cooler. They just keep getting better. And everybody's always worried about that, whatever they call it, the suspension of disbelief or whatever. And they call it, what do they call that thing where it looks real, but it's not real? What's that valley? The uncanny valley.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know that we're learning that's not necessarily the goal, is to make video games realistic, right? Like, we just want to have good freaking games. So I don't know. I am very curious to see how 2026 shapes up, and I'm actually kind of curious to hear what the listeners think. Jake, do you have really anything else you'd like to tack on? That pretty much wraps the show up. What do you think?
No, I think I'm good. Good for the year. I mean, maybe next episode we can touch base on some of our favorite games of 2025. But I think as far as like our anticipatory episode for 2026, that about wraps it. There's probably shit that we missed, but I think that's pretty good.
Cool. Yeah, I think 2026 is definitely shaping up to be a year. It's going to be full of surprises. Even though we know all these games coming out, we're going to have a lot of good stories. We're going to have a lot of games to talk about moving forward. And we do want to hear from the listeners, though. So which of these titles are you guys most excited for, if any? And are there any that Jake or I missed that you can't wait to dive into? So leave us a comment, send us a message, share your thoughts. 2026 is looking like it's going to be a pretty fruitful year for video game players, PlayStation players specifically. And we just want to know which games you guys are all counting down the days for. So with that out of the way, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Apologies again for not having the episode out last week. We hope that everybody had a nice holiday, and we also really hope that everybody brings in the new year safely. And we'll be back next week for more video game talk. So with that out of the way, like Jack and Daxter, Journey, and Judgment, P.S.
Yes.
This is awesome.
This is awesome.